Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk to you guys about the Galaxy S9 versus the Note 8. The reason why I'm putting these two devices together because the Note 8 is the best of the Note line and the S9 Plus is technically the best of the first two S9 devices that we've received. It has more RAM, it has a bigger display, and it closely resembles the Note 8 from last year. So let's go ahead and put them head to head and see which one fares out better, and should you upgrade to the S9 Plus if you have a Note 8. This is TK and this is XDA TV. When looking at both devices, you're going to need to obviously recognize the fact that they're very similar, or actually have a lot of similarities. One of the main similarities that we have is obviously the size. We have a 6.2 inch to a 6.3 inch. Very similar as far as just the aesthetics, although this is a little bit boxier. You'll notice that's just a Note. We're looking at the Snapdragon 845 with a 3500 mAh battery, 6.2 inch display. Front-facing camera is an 8 megapixel sensor. The sensor on the back, the 12 megapixel sensor on the back. Now we do have one telephoto one, but the main sensor has an mechanical aperture of 2.4 and 1.5 for low light performance. Fingerprint sensor has been moved to the bottom, as well as the heart rate sensor. It now also works as a blood pressure sensor. Dual tone LED flash, wireless charging and fast wireless charging, of course. Stereo speaker using the earpiece as well as the bottom firing speaker that we have here. So now we have an implementation of dual stereo speakers, and it works in both mode, landscape and portrait. Of course, we still have an SD card support with 6 gigs of RAM with 64 gigs of internal storage. The Note is not exactly a slouch. The Note has main benefits, of course, where it has the Snapdragon 835, one generation behind. Still has 6 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of storage, 6.2 inch Quad HD display. Both have the Infinity display built in. If you'll notice, they both have that curvature. Of course, unfortunately, both are plagued with the Bixby button, volume rocker. The sensors on the back, we have one telephoto and a 12 megapixel sensor that's capped at f1.7. So there is no variable aperture here, but you still get really good low light images, just not as good. The heart rate sensor here does not double as a blood pressure monitor, but that's not a problem. The fingerprint sensor, although critical, has been placed on the right side of the sensor, and that's one of the things that the Note did have, and one of the things that carried out of 2017. On the bottom, single firing speaker, no stereo implementation here. Obviously USB-C, 3.5mm headphone jack, microphone here, and of course the iconic S Pen. That pen that you take out and you start writing on your screen without having to do anything, and then you can just put it back in, and your screen goes back to sleep. Very nice, very easy to use. 8 megapixel front-facing sensor, and we do have on both of these devices iris scanner as well as face unlock will be coming in. Now we have intelligent design or intelligent scan, which uses two sensors, the front-facing camera as well as the iris scanner, to be able to do face recognition or iris scanning, whichever is first, and it unlocks your device. And it works pretty good, and it even works at a certain distance as well. So when you're looking at both of these devices, you're thinking, well, TK, they're comparably spec'd, they're very close. And the last thing I want to mention, 3000 mAh battery to 3500 mAh battery. We actually went up in size. And if you remember, the Note 7 had a 3500 mAh battery before they started creeping or basically downsizing the batteries on the Note devices to, so that we don't have any more issues. So getting the specs out of the way, they're very closely spec'd. The big differences between the two: stereo speakers, f1.5 aperture down to f1.5, as well as the fact that the fingerprint sensor now is at the bottom and we have a heart rate monitor. If you take that out, the Note has the S Pen, and that's basically the only edge that it has on there. Both have gorgeous displays. I think both play, obviously media, content, videos, all of that. I haven't noticed any slowdown on my device. I've been using Nova on this, and it just works beautifully. I have, both have substratum support, which is also very nice. From a performance standpoint, I'm not going to try to give you guys specs and numbers and all of that. The main thing I want to mention to you guys is I'm using both of them. I have obviously installed my same applications. I've transitioned from the Note 8 over to the S9 Plus. I transitioned my applications, my widget, all my shortcuts, everything I love about the Note 8 still transfers here. They're both very fast, very easy to use. And what I like about them is that they're super functional in the sense of this has aged pretty well for the last 6 months. I haven't noticed any slowdown. 6 gigs of RAM is pretty much where you want to be, and that's, I think, where the main benefit is. So there's the S9 that's currently out as well as the S9 Plus. It has 4 gigs of RAM with a 3000 mAh battery and, of course, a 5.8 inch display. Not that there's a bad thing about it, but if you're looking for RAM management, for best performance, for loading a lot of games, a lot of heavy hitters, definitely S9 Plus will give you the best experience. Talking about upgradability, should you upgrade from the Note 8 to the S9? So that's one scenario. I probably would say if you've already invested in the Note 8, don't go to the S9. You have most of the benefits, as well as the fact that you have the S Pen that has the built-in menu that you cannot get on the S9 Plus. This menu does not work anywhere else. The ability to basically take in images, screenshots, selecting what you want, and being able to edit that on the fly is extremely well done. And that does not translate well here. Now, the Edge display, those two, both devices have them. This is not something very unique to either one of them, so you're not losing that. The AR emojis on the S9 Plus, honestly, after a couple of days, I haven't even turned it on. It's cute, it's funny to play with initially, maybe give it to your kid to play with, but after a while, it stops being that thing where you, oh my god, I gotta do it. So, if you're on the Note 8, I wouldn't necessarily recommend the S9. I would wait for the Note 9. It is a newer device. It is running newer hardware. It is going to run the newer software. Obviously, Samsung will always make sure, right now, at least for 2018, this device has the latest version. By the time the Note 9 comes out, there'll be some more optimizations. This is how they do it. Oreo will come to the Note 8 if you already had it, and you should be able to keep it. So overall, I'm going to say is this. If you're new to the ecosystem, S9 Plus is for sure. If you already have the Note 8, I don't think it's worth the upgrade. I think you should just use the powerhouse that you have in your hand. I'm going to show you guys also real quick, a quick image I'm going to take. I'm going to turn off all the lights, and I'm going to show you guys a picture at pretty much really low light and show you that this is not exactly a slouch. You can still get really good pictures at f1.7. So I turned off all the lights in the office here, and I wanted to show you guys that obviously there is something here. So you can see right there, there's that little packet that you usually get with our device with the earphone. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on the camera. I'm using auto mode, and I'm just going to put it over the actual piece. You'll notice right there, I can actually see it pretty much. Let's go ahead and zoom in. I'm actually not going to zoom in. I'm just going to let it here, and flash is off, and I'm going to take a picture. Let it see if we can capture. Yeah, I was trying to focus on it. Okay, so I was able to get it to focus, and here's the image. So let's go ahead and zoom in. You can see it right there. It's pretty bright, and you can actually read the code on the bottom of this thing. So again, we're using the Note 8. I'm going to switch over to the S9 Plus. Now, I can use the auto mode or pro mode to be able to get it to go down there, but it's supposed to turn it on by itself once there is less than 100. So at a certain level of light, it will turn on by itself. So I'm going to go ahead and tap it, and I'm going to go ahead and take a picture. Okay, we'll give it a shot, and it is right there. So now it opened it up. And yes, I'm not going to deny, this is a lot clearer. This is not, I mean, they're not the same quality, but what I'm trying to say is that Note 8 is no slouch. Let me know what you think in the comments below. This was my comparison of the Note 8 to S9 Plus. I think the S9 Plus, of course, is the flagship till we have the Note 9 of 2018 from Samsung, as it has everything that they want us to have: the gig, the RAM, the display, the internal storage, the waterproofing, water resistance, the wireless charging, all of the good things that they have to offer. It's really the best package they can offer you. So like and subscribe as usual to this channel, like and subscribe as usual to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.